Shift the way you lead, the way you live. Clarity, courage, change. Because your next level won't wait. This is Monday Mindshift, the clarity you've been craving, the shift you didn't know you needed. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday Mindshift. I hope everybody enjoyed the new lead-in. I made that over the weekend, so I'd love to hear opinions on that, your thoughts, comments, etc. Glad to have people here joining for Monday Mindshift. Our topic today is a very interesting one. Don't fix it. Good afternoon to you, Cyrus. But it's actually morning for me. Glad to have you here. And Tufael, thank you also for joining. Brenda Lees, glad to hear it. So today our topic is don't fix it yet. How to sit in the discomfort that we usually escape. Most of us have three exits when that discomfort comes around, right? We look to solve it, to explain it, or to escape it. Today, I want to talk about practicing a fourth option: stay long enough to hear what that discomfort is trying to teach us. Marcus Aurelius said it wonderfully. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So, what are these three exits? The first, the solve. We look to grab some tactic or some process or problem solution, right? Let me fix it so I don't have to feel it. As an example, you're feeling insecure about a launch and you immediately rewrite the whole plan at 11 o'clock at night, or worse, at 2 a.m. The explain exit. You start intellectualizing. If I just understand this perfectly, then I don't have to feel it. This looks like binging 3 podcasts instead of making one uncomfortable phone call or sending an uncomfortable DM. Escape. This one we all know way too well. It's numbing ourselves out. Let me distract myself long enough and the discomfort will pass. This looks like scrolling, snacking, scheduling, right? Busy work. It looks good, it sounds good, but it's not getting us anywhere. It looks brave and all that. So my question for the audience is, which exit do you default to, and how has that served you? Put it in the chat. Which exit do you default to, and how does it serve you? So I'd love to hear from you in the chat on that. There you go. It's in the chat. Now, the reality is none of them are evil. They're comfortable. They're strategies. We're not here to shame them, but we're looking at what's a fourth option, right? How can we give ourselves another option instead of these traditional 3, right? It's solve, explain, escape. right? We use these all the time instead of sitting in the discomfort. Let's start with a little nervous system 101. If you get bored with scientific stuff, don't worry, I'm not going to be lecturing like your professor. When we're feeling uncertain, we're not sure about what's going to happen, what to do, which way to move, it activates what scientifically is called the sympathetic system, the sympathetic arousal. You might know it as the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. The fawn is a newer addition. In fact, I remember in college. Thank you, Meryl. Glad to have you. Happy Monday. Time to make the donuts. um, so when I was younger, I remember hearing fight or flight response. Later on, I heard the fight, flight, freeze. And recently, I've heard fight, flight, freeze, fawn. These are the normal responses when we perceive danger. Now, evolution wise, earlier humans, I don't mean Darwin. Tracy, thank you for being here. And Sue, welcome. When I say evolution, I'm not talking about, monkeys to humans. No. But every species, humans included, we've gone through evolutions, right? The life we live today is different than 100 years ago or 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. Long time ago, humans had to be afraid, right? There were things that would hurt you. There were dangers that were very, very real. Today, not so much, right? We live a pretty safe and secure life. But that doesn't matter because when we conjure images in our mind, the mind doesn't know that that's not a real threat. If your belief system has been taught, conditioned that this is danger, your body will respond the same as a bear chasing you in the woods or your boss yelling at you for a mistake you made. The same, rejection by your village, being exiled to survive in the wilderness by yourself, or somebody not liking your post, or worse, somebody making a negative comment on your post. Internally, physically, physiologically, it generates the same response. Now, that causes us to go into urgency mode, right? We're looking to respond, right? Danger. It makes me think of my childhood. Danger, Will Robinson. But urgency isn't always truth. They've done functional MRI studies that showed that by simply naming our feelings, the reactivity drops. So putting your feelings into words dampens that automatic response and lets you function more in your prefrontal area where we have logic and reason instead of the lower lizard brain that is just like, keep this being alive. So here's a phrase for you. Name it to tame it. I recently read this and it was very interesting. They call it the 90-second surge. Christy, welcome from Florida. A really smart lady, Jill Bolte Taylor, found that the chemical flood that happens due to emotions hits its peak and passes on through in 90 seconds. You say, well, wait a minute, but I'm still angry. I'm still sad. It's because it passes in 90 seconds, peaks and passes in 90 seconds, if we don't refuel it. How do we refuel it? We replay it in our mind. We ruminate on it. We keep replaying it. La, 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 la. I'm so mad at him. I'm so mad at him. I'm so mad at him. Blah, blah, blah. So if the emotion is still affecting you after 90 seconds, it's your choice. Think of it this way. Use this as practice rather than dogma. Sit for the 90 seconds, let the feeling come, process through it, and then let it go. You don't have to ruminate on it. You don't have to keep feeding the fire. I love this quote. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf, right? So learn to surf the wave. It's only going to last 90 seconds. And then you can get to your thinking part. All right. This week's a little different. I've got a live exercise for us. If you can, I realize some people are watching at work, maybe you're in the car, I don't know, but if you are able to, close your eyes or just look down, lower your gaze, look down at your desk and notice the first thing you feel in your body. Maybe it's in your jaw, in your throat, your chest, your belly. And for the next 90 seconds in your mind, no stories. When a thought comes up, label it planning or is it fear? And come back to your focus point. As you're breathing, count to 6 as you exhale. This is like pumping your brakes in the car going down the hill. Extending the exhale. Count 6 as you exhale. All right, so 90 seconds. Oops, not 90 minutes. Whoops, minute 30. All right. Let's go. All right. So, what changed in your body? If you're willing to share in the chat, I'd love to hear from everyone or anyone. What, in that 90 seconds, what changed in your body? Did any urges to fix something show up? And think about, if it did, where did it appear? Was it in your chest? Was it in your shoulders? Was it in your forehead? Think about that. Where in your body did you feel it? That urge to deal with something, to fix it. Or look at it this way. What shows up just sitting for 90 seconds, no story, just present for 90 seconds? Live practice number 2. 3 steps. Name, need, next. Simple. Name. Label it. This is uncertainty. This is anger. This is shame. What is it? Just name it. Need. Lisa, welcome. Glad to have you here. Need. Dig deeper. What is it asking from you? Do you need safety? Do you need rest? Do you need reassurance? Do you need specificity? Do you need support? What is the need underneath the feeling? Because that's what our feelings are about, is what is it's trying to meet a need. So name it, find the need, and look at the next thing you can do. What is a small aligned step that honors that need and it's not escaping? Now, I imagine you're here watching. Things are probably pretty calm for most people. But the next time you're in that situation where you're uncomfortable for whatever reason, try these. Try the 90-second no stories, or the 3-step name, need, next. And tell me, I'd love to hear comments back from you. Send me a DM, whatever. Tell me how that helped you get through the discomfort without having to use one of the typical 3 exits, right? Of solve, explain, escape. The only way, Pema Chodron, I might be saying that wrong, says this way: the only way to ease our pain is to go through it. But sometimes it's not easy to go. And we tend to react from that sympathetic mode, right? That keep yourself alive mode, the high cortisol stress situation, like, I gotta get out of this. But we need to process through it instead of running away from it, right? Now I have 3 questions to incite curiosity, right? Because this is about curiosity. We're not trying to control it. We're trying to explore it. Why am I feeling this way? What am I trying to get away from? Is it a bear? Then run. If it's not a bear, then we have to ask some questions. First question: what is true right now that I am trying to outrun? Question 2: if the discomfort had a job, what is it protecting? What is it doing? What is its purpose? And question 3, what would still be wise here after that 90-second wave passes? So research has been done that says that tolerance for ambiguity connects to creativity and better complex decision making. So my quote I want to share here: live the questions now. What is true about what I'm trying to outrun? If this had a job, what is it doing? What is it trying to do? And after the first wave crashes, what's still true? What's still wise? What's the purpose, right? It's just like the dashboard lights, right? They don't just come on to say, hey, the light still works. No, they're telling you there's something going on. You better check. So you have the chance to do something, or you can ignore it, which usually leads to bigger problems. So let me put those questions in the chat so those are available. Give them a picnic basket. Exactly, Merle. They'll leave you alone. Just give them your basket. The funny thing is I lived in California most of my life, and there are signs everywhere that say, don't feed the bears. And you know what they say. If they're telling you don't do it, it's probably because they've had a problem with people doing it. All right. At this point, let me give some practical. Oh, and so those questions are for you to take with you and use in the moments of discomfort. This next question that I'm going to share is the one I would love to hear your response. And that is, what need is underneath your most persistent discomfort this month? I'll pop that on the screen. What is the need underneath your most persistent discomfort this month? It's a good place to start. All right. While I'm waiting on that, so I'm not sitting here looking silly, here's a pause protocol, right? Systems make everything easier. Whether it's a system for your email or a system for dealing with discomfort, or how to do your job at work. Systems they're like a machine. They just automatically run. It's a 3-step protocol. 1, pause. 3, slow, deep breaths. 6 to 8 count exhale. As we said, long exhales brings you back to grounding. It takes you out of the fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode and drop your shoulders. right? If you think about it, if you're ready to fight, your shoulders are going to be up, like, or if you're tense. So just drop your shoulders. Take these 3 deep breaths. Step 2, label it. 2 words about the feeling you're feeling. Write it down if you can. Get a journal, get a notepad, get a post-it note, because you can trash it afterwards. Remember, 90-second wave. Let's learn to surf. And then choose. Take 10 to 15 minutes time boxing in this unknown. Be present, not thinking about the past, not foretelling the future. 10 to 15 minutes right in the present before you take action. And you can give yourself some guardrails. Things like, I don't make decisions if I'm at my peak emotion. Another one, if it's truly urgent, I can take 30 seconds of breathing. If it's really urgent, I can take 30 seconds before I do anything. No new meanings for 90 seconds. No story adding. 90 seconds, let the wave crash, and then you can start looking at stories. You might say something like this: I'm pausing for 15 minutes to hear what's underneath. You can repeat these to, maybe you say these to the people around you, maybe you say them just to yourself. I'll respond after the wave, not in the middle of it. Yes, as I think it's Einstein, right? You can't solve your problems using the same thinking that got you there. So we have to step out. Hello, Sherilyn and Luz. I've learned when Restream shows me LinkedIn user, today I instantly said must be Luz. So I went over to the LinkedIn chat and see that yes, it's Luz. All right. Here's some things, some steps you can do to integrate and make a commitment to yourself. 1 sentence of honesty, right? The truest thing I can say about this situation is, and you fill in the blank. This cuts through any spin. Hemingway used this, right? The truest sentence I can say about this situation is. Here's an experiment to try. 24 hours. Pick 1 hour that you will fix nothing. We'll call it the no fix hour, right? Have a live issue, something that is already there, something you're dealing with. 1 hour, look at the name, need, next only, no over explaining, no escaping, only looking at what's the next step. And to close this up, I can understand that, Tracy. Not myself, but my wife deals with this all the time, trying to lose that extra weight, especially when other things, external factors, are contributing to it. Let me leave you with this. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. It's Special Ops uses this, right? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So don't rush, right? Viktor Frankl says it this way: when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves, right? When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are we are challenged to change ourselves. Let me put that up. That's a good one. Whoops. There we go. Because the truth is, anxiety and being in that 4F mode, right? Fight, flight, fawn, freeze. We're not thinking straight. If you think, I'm not leaving, Kenneth, I'm just wrapping up my part, and then I'm going to welcome anyone who wants to come and share. It's funny, I was just talking about this on Americo's show. Like Americo and Keith were talking about monologues versus conversations, and are you comfortable with monologues? I said, yeah, I can do shorter monologues. They don't bother me, but I'd much rather have a conversation. All right. So I see some discomfort, nervous system activation. Internal inflammation around the legs. Yes. That can definitely trigger that same response, right? Our body, our mind are inextricably linked. So when we have problems in the body, we're going to feel it in our mind as well. Wow, there's some major lag between LinkedIn and Restream. Wow. That is crazy lag. In closing, if you're done defaulting to fixes and ready to dig into your truth and work from your truth instead of around it, to step into it, I've opened some time on my calendar for a few identity clarity calls this week for anyone who's ready to ignite the next chapter. You can comment, stay on this post, or send me a DM. It's no cost, and I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to talk to you, and let's see what might be locking you in and keeping you from moving forward in your truth. With that, let me get the invite link. I'll put that in the chat. Well, and interestingly, Meryl, I think Keith said that the research shows that audiences are more into a monologue, surprisingly. I think maybe that's because it has a lot to do with the current era we're in, right? Maybe we're watching from work, or we're multitasking. Yes, Michael. Very, very true. Very, very true. That is a shock, Michael. Michael, calm. Michael's everywhere. And Michael, I would say the goal is we we're not sitting in it. We're embracing it. Let's look at it. Why is the discomfort there? And what can we do about it? That's going back to the name it, find the need, and what's the next step? Right? Name, need, next. Name what you're feeling. What's the underlying need? What is it that our body, our mind is engaged? What is it trying to give us, right? Did I put that in the chat? Okay. I'd love to hear from anybody who's willing to come up and speak. Otherwise, we can talk in the comments. The late night humor. Yeah. I've got humor, Meryl. I was actually on Substack and they were asking for creator jokes. And here's mine. I tell people that I batch my content. The truth is, I panic create 15 minutes before posting. Or this one. I love this one. Half of my coaching content is wisdom. The other half is me working through my own drama publicly. All right. Press the little magic buttons. All right, it's everywhere. It's in the chat. It's on the screen. Love to hear from you. That was my goal when I started Mindshift, was to have a conversation. And lately I'm definitely missing my co-host. Haven't heard from her, so exactly, Jay. One breath at a time. I love it. And I know that's related to your situation, but it's true for all of us. Overcome your challenges one breath at a time. Breathing is something so fundamental. We do it automatically. We don't even have to think about it. But it's also one of the most powerful tools that we have to reset our body, our mind, our our emotions. It's so powerful. Your breath. Whether you're feeling angry or panicked or anxious, just taking some long extended breaths, deeper than usual, extend the exhale, can help bring everything back so that you can operate from reason, from your more advanced level of your brain. And I agree, Michael, wisdom should come through what we've worked through. That's the best that's wisdom. Otherwise it's just knowledge. Yeah, box breathing is just the surface, Michael. William Rochelle, really, he likes to talk. A lot of people like to talk. I just like to talk to others. I'm a massive extrovert. So monologuing in front of the camera is not really my preference. Yeah, exactly, Michael. We can definitely. I mean, I look at what Wim Hof does, and I'm not Wim Hof. I'm not at that level, but what he's able to put himself through just by managing his breathing is amazing. To drop into temperatures that I shiver just thinking about it. I know Michael LeBlanc can talk a lot when he's on stage. Some of them, Tracy. I would say not all introverts. I think a lot of. Okay, Michael, you're going to have to explain that because I don't understand it. I don't get it. I usually have to do this in the doctor. Oh, never mind. Got it. Just just downloaded. That you don't like going to the doctor's office. I find the same thing at the dentist office. And I remember one time I went to the dentist's office and I was already feeling a little anxious. And then they put me in the chair and left me there like 3 times as long as normal. Yes, Michael, I've been on a few events where you spoke, and I know you usually have plenty to say. I don't mind doing them calm. It's trying to fill the full hour. That exactly. I haven't actually seen Michael on camera. I've only heard his voice speaking. Oh, which Michael? We got two Michaels. I've heard calm Michael, voice only, and Michael LeBlanc, I've heard speak as well. And you're right, Jay. Melanie and Martin are good, have a lot to say on this as well about mindset shift. I get to talk to Melanie a lot, but I also know she's got a lot on her schedule because she does her and Martin do disruptive business leadership with um, Roy. Brain fart. And by the way, talking about that, you here on Mindshift, if you don't want to be on camera, you don't have to be on camera. When I invite people up here, I just want to hear voices. I don't need to see your smiling face. If that's not your style, you're still welcome. In fact, I can just do this. I found this little feature in Restream. Where did Sean go? It's funny. I turned that on earlier and I took me a second to figure out where to turn it back. Spencer, welcome. Glad to see you. I have not read Martin's book yet, Jay. I've got a lot of other books on my list that were already on my list when I first encountered Martin and heard about his book. Plus, I've been very occupied helping my wife get her first book edited, published, etc. Because she poured her heart, soul, tears, all of it into her book, and she's already had such a positive response, powerful response from those that had the chance to do the pre-read. How could I ghost you? Didn't ghost. I was just pushing buttons. Any questions about the topic, about sitting, embracing, as Michael LeBlanc so eloquently stated, embracing the discomfort, walking through it instead of solving, explaining, and escaping? Our standard 3 exits, right? It's about staying in it to get through to the other side. I think I love it. There's a song I heard once. If you're going through hell, keep on going, because you might get out before the devil even knows you're there. And that's so true. Like, whenever we're in that trying point, our first instinct is to get out, to fix the problem, to get out. And then we do. We distract ourselves, we get out of it, we solve it, instead of sitting with it for a little bit to find out what's really going on, to dig in and understand ourselves. Wait a minute. I hear about singing. Courage. What's the haps? Yeah, I know a lot of people sang happy birthday to Felipe the other day on Social Saturday. That was quite a nice surprise for him. Although they weren't coordinated. It was quite humorous. Through songwriting, yeah, that's songwriting, journaling, just processing through it is so powerful. It's funny, I mentioned my wife's book, and actually that was the birth of her book. It was birthed from her healing journey of journaling it out and answering the questions, and then she wrote the book based on her journey. And so it's a 90-day healing journey for the women. It's meant for the women. It's not for the guys. You want the guys version? I have Stronger Every Day, which is a 30-day self-worth journal targeted at men. Yeah, get him up there. Get him up. Kenneth, why don't you ever join? Like, I never see Kenneth on. Tracy, my co-host, was Suniti Biswas. She's over in India, so the timing is tricky. But we just had this great synergy. But I need to look for a backup, I think, because I would really love to have conversation. That was my vision with Mindshift, is not the Sean show. I like looking at myself, but I like having a conversation more as well. All right, we've got about 5 to 8 minutes. If there's still time, if anybody wants to come up and save me. If not, I can just sit in the discomfort. I don't know what to talk to you guys about. Be honest. I wasn't prepared to go an hour talking. I thought I did pretty good hitting 30 to 40 minutes. That's an improvement. I was a little better prepared this time than other times. Because this is the third week I haven't had my co-host. So I'm getting better prepared these days. And I do a monologue. Yeah, the problem is, Kenneth, on Friday evenings, I'm, those Nani shows I don't get a chance to join because that's reading time to my son, which is a very important part of his day for me and for him. It's our wrap up the day, our reconnection before he goes to sleep. He's 7. I did it, huh, Tracy? All right, Pinker, go ahead. What's your question? Ucell. Okay, I'm lost. I'm lost, Michael. Pinker, I don't have an answer for that right here and right now. But I will put that together, and I'm not sure how to. 7-year-old boy. He was our 24-year surprise. We tried to have kids when we were younger. We moved out of the country. We were living life, climbing volcanoes, enjoying, our entry into midlife. And we got a big surprise about 8 years ago that my wife was pregnant at 42 years old. And it was scared the death out of us because it's like, I'm 49 and I started calculating I'm going to be this old when he graduates high school. And I'm like, why am I having a kid now? Like, I'm not 20, I'm not 30, but it's been a huge, huge blessing. He's brought so much learning. Like, I've grown and learned from him. I'm not even sure he realizes how much he's taught me and his mom. Right? Our job is to teach him and guide him, but they can teach us so much. Pinker, I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, that if you could comment after the live video with your question, that way I can reply to you with the response. Because I don't want to leave you hanging. But it's a process. But I will get an answer. I will dig back through my notes and my learning. and I will get that. Yes, Tracy, he does. He keeps me younger, both mentally. I'm actually only 18. My body's been around the sun 50 something times, but I'm 18. All right. It's 10:58. 2 minutes if anybody wants to come up on stage. The link's on the screen. Jeremy loves to listen more. Kenneth's trying to get anybody up on the stage. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate Kenny a lot. His delectable, scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly tasty good is very, very delectable vocabulary. All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate all the comments, the interaction. Perhaps, exactly, Jeremy. It's about our mind. What do you think? Your age, I always heard this most of my life. Age is a state of mind. So how old do you want to be? Thank you, everyone. See you all next week. And go out there and make a difference. Be the change you want to see in the world. If you want a different world, you got to start right here and change yourself. And hopefully by next week, I'll have a new outro for the video. But today I only had the intro. So let's close out with that. Thanks again. Have a great week. Be awesome. Shift the way you lead, the way you live. Clarity, courage, change. Because your next level won't wait. This is Monday Mindshift, the clarity you've been craving, the shift you didn't know you needed.